Woo, what's going on? Hallelujah. Ooh. Okay, I had to get some of that out. Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're talking soul contracts. This is actually part 2 to the part 1. My spirit guardian last time knocked my computer over, took my camera out. You'll notice that if you see there's a soul contracts, karmic soul contracts that we discussed 6 days ago now, and it all makes sense. Yes. I see you, Samir. I do have a tremendous amount of energy. How are things progressing on my side? They're moving. I got a shit ton of energy that I'm pumping out today, with 12 signs, symptoms, and kind of like telltale scenarios, narratives, telltale symbols of. I'm not going to talk today about what karmic soulmates are or what soul contracts are. I'll give you a brief of what that is about because there's another video. I think it's only about 23 minutes. This one will be a lot longer because I'm going through a list that I've written out in the description. It's going to be part 2. So for simplicity, soulmates, okay, soul contracts that we create, just to give you the intro, and we're going to get right into it today, is they're created in your past life, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about north nodes and south nodes in astrology. North nodes kind of like more where you're heading, which is generally away from the south node, which is your past life. It's your karma that you are here to not just necessarily face, but release, okay? Collectively, we are in a Sagittarius north-south node, okay? Collectively, we are in Sagittarius south node until, I don't know, I think 2022. And it's going to actually activate in December, okay, our karmic life cycles collectively, all the people on planet Earth. It's going to activate in December, I believe, when Saturn, or is it Jupiter? I think Jupiter, when Jupiter goes into Aquarius, okay, in December, there's going to be some. Oh, is it December? Is it December? What month is it? Oh, crap. Yeah, so December's coming, so it's Sagittarius season, which is why this is probably why today is Sagittarius season. This is day 1, okay? And in December is going to be hitting activation on another level. So soulmates, soul contracts, people that you made contracts with in your past life are going to be presenting themselves, and more likely than not, to be honest, you've already been meeting some of your soulmates. You just may not fully recognize them. Okay, you may not see them, and this is why we're going to talk a little bit about this today. I have a question. What about north nodes and south nodes and karmic contracts? We're going to talk about that right now. Literally, absolutely, right now. We're going to talk about that today in this live. So my name is Pernell Bobby. Just to get through the logistics, 333 on the screen. Anybody looking to get a 15-minute free astrotherapy session with me, people have been eating those up. If you're looking to get the book where I talk all things spiritual, giving you it's a spiritual advisory kit, okay? I'm talking in numerology, I'm talking in angel numbers, I'm talking obviously astrology, how to align your life more intuitively with the moon cycles. When the moon's in Aries, how does that play out? Talking like, okay, when moon's in Aries, it's like try to slow it down and not make decisions just because you're feeling uncertain. Or like today, the moon is in Cancer right now, and it's like make some space for your emotional world and understand that people can't take advantage of you if you are emotionally intelligent. When you're emotionally intelligent, you understand your boundaries, you understand how to set them energetically, physically, and that's what the moon in Cancer would tell you, as well as like be prepared to cry. So from today, for the next couple of days, the moon is in Cancer, and it's like be prepared to cry, be prepared for past partners, past life connections that are going to reveal themselves potentially in the bodies of people that you may recognize or you may not recognize, but understand that people from your past are going to be pulling up on you. When the moon is in Cancer, Cancer is linked to past lives as well. It's linked to the roots. It's linked to the conditionings that we go through in order to understand our emotional well-being and what's necessary. So Let's get a little bit more. I'm supercharged. You can probably feel that right now. I was charged last time I did this, and let's hit it. Okay, we're coming off of an eclipse. Let's do this. All right. I got another question. When the nodes change, do they affect our lives? Everything affects our lives. Anything that changes is going to have a direct impact on us. Absolutely. Of course, absolutely. And so where the node is and what astrology sign that node is what the change may look like. So right now, the change, the south node is in Sagittarius, and the north node where we're heading is in 22222. Bang. And the north node where we're heading is in Gemini. So south node in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the guru. Okay, Sagittarius is the spiritual teacher. So when I was doing my research today, which really I did last time, one of the things I wanted to come out here and say up front, okay, as me being a teacher in the space of spirituality, in the space of all the unseen and bringing heaven basically down on earth and to make it make sense, I want you always, okay, if you have my number, if you have my email, I want you always to check me, okay? This is the Sagittarius South Node. It's like, be very careful when you're being dogmatic, when you're doing the same thing, and when you take a sense of superiority over everybody and everything. You say, look, my teaching method is the method. If you're ever around people where they think the way I teach, the way I do is the only way, this is law, this is what we're stepping away from. Okay. So past life regression is coming up, and all of this dogmatic, I'm a spiritual guru, I'm a teacher, all that shit's going out the window. And as we step towards the Gemini North Node where we're heading, it's saying take in information through discussion, through communication, through, I'm telling you right now, Samir, take in communication by, I'm not taking communication, take in more information through conversation. It's saying be willing to step outside of what you know and realize that having more discussions on a variety of topics will, with a variety of people and a diverse and adaptable type of people. So not just a variety of people, but like a variety of cultures. Okay. So like right now, Samir, I think's checking in from Eastern Africa. Okay. Yesterday I was on the phone with somebody in Algeria. Today I was on the phone with somebody down in Guatemala. So what I'm saying is like take in all of the cultural differences of East Africa, Northern Africa, Guatemala. I'm here in Arkansas. Take in all this information and absorb it. Even if you think it's not useful now, understand that that knowledge will come back later at a moment that just seems like magical. Like, I learned this 4 years ago and I learned that 2 years ago, but today it all makes sense. This is what we're going through collectively, understanding that, the only thing that we know is nothing at all. That's more of the mindset versus Sagittarius, where we're stepping away from in our past lives, which is saying, I know everything and I know everything. You find yourself around people that know everything, get the fuck away from them because that person can't learn anything. Okay. And not only that, but they'll keep you and they'll trap you in their own dogmatic thinking. So if you weren't dogmatic and very like, the word is feeling superior above all, feeling your knowledge and your intellect is so expansive and so it it's so in that you can't learn anything else. These are the people you need to get away from. So let's talk about soul contracts, how to recognize them, soulmates. In your past life, before you came back in this life, you created contracts with a certain set of people. You decided I needed to be born at this time. You decided your name, but more the vibration of your name. So, okay, my name is PernellBobby, right? But I decided the vibration that I needed because your name carries an energetic signature. If you're big into numerology, of your destiny number, your life path number, your expression number, your karmic debt. Okay, what kind of karmic debt you're gonna have. You can find out your debt that you owe karmically from past lives. All of that stuff is in your name. It's in your birthday. So, PernellBobby, it's not that I chose PernellBobby, I chose the vibration that I needed to come back. So if I chose the destiny number 5, the name could be anything that equates to 5. Okay. And I have that all within the spiritual advisory kit that I was talking about as well. Anybody interested in that, just let me know. It's free. I'll give it to you. All right. What did Gemini in the 7th house say? North Node, Gemini in the 7th house. I'm not going to go there right now because that's a personal question. And I got other people collectively that needs to hear what we hear. So you got North Node in Gemini because we're just in that phase right now. But I'm not going to go into personal questions. That's more of like book a reading and then we'll get into that. All right. So here are the 12 contracts, not contracts, but 12 signs, karmic signs that you are in a soulmate bond. Soulmate not meaning romantic. It's not love, right? It can be. And these people come in for the classic saying, a reason, a season, or to stay. And so it's up to us to use our discernment, our higher conscience to recognize who's in our life for just a month, who's in our life for our life, who's in our life for the season of summer, or the season of me living in Arkansas. Okay. And then eventually I'll be gone. And then there'll be another season. So who's to stay? So this is like, forgive me because I'm coming in, I'm supercharged today. I'm like, super tap the fuck in on a lot of energies today. So let's move into the 12. Okay, number one. Number one, and I want to do, after I get into number one, I might go back into reminding you guys what we're doing right now. So we just came from the South Node, but I gotta say this first. So we just came from the South Node before it was in Cancer. I mean, before it was in Sagittarius, it was in Cancer. And the South Node in Cancer, the North Node in Cancer was telling us right now, I'm really charged. Right now, the North Node, which is our destiny collectively as a people, is going towards Gemini, which is saying taking collective information, talk to people, realize that you don't know everything, and just collect info and understand yourself by conversing with a variety of different types of people. Okay, the weirder the type of person, the more away from your own cultural backing, the better, the more you'll be able to expand and grow. All right. And prior, the North Node was in Cancer. And so what this pretended, Cancer is the home. So Cancer is saying, hey, we're gonna prep you guys for the you know what. I'm not even gonna say that word. We're gonna prep you guys for the you know what, where the world shuts down. The you know what. We're gonna prep you for this. We're gonna get you guys to be used to being at home, and then you're gonna learn how to work from home. So that was obviously it's not there. We've already passed that North Node collective destiny, which means that prior our South Node was learning how to step away from certain structures. Capricorn, learning how to step away collectively. We're stepping away from our past life in this. We stepped away already from certain structures, certain governments, certain rules and regulations. And we're seeing that today. There are a lot of rules and regulations that are starting to piss people off. And people are more aware of certain things and they're starting to make up their own mind. Okay. And I won't go deep into that either. So I had to say that so that I can get you guys to understand where we are so you can have some patience because right now there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of crazy shit going on. So I'm talking today about soulmates and contracts so you can have some patience, understand, that the person you're meeting or the person that broke your heart, they didn't just break your heart because they wanted to break your heart. Okay. You created a contract with this person in your past life. You said, look, in November around the 30th, I need you to meet me because I need you to make sure that I get back on track because there's going to be these challenges that I'm going to face that's going to take me off track. So I need you to meet me at this coffee shop. I need you to fall in love with me at this bowling alley. And so you're not going to stay in my life. I'm going to create this contract with you. I need you to stay in my life for about 4 months, about 2 years. I need you to stay in my life for a 10-year relationship, whatever. And then we're going to have to break up around this time because it led you through a certain amount of healing. So remember, karmic relationships, soulmates, they're here to heal us. They're here to guide us. They're here to keep us on track when we fall off track. So you already know the challenges from your life prior that you're going to face because you chose your path. You chose the way you wanted to express yourself. You chose your personality. You chose the parents that you were going to have because you knew they were going to raise you in a certain way. You had a drunk father, you chose that father because you knew that father was going to teach you the lessons that you needed to learn in order to fulfill your mission in this current life. You went through a rape. You decided in your past life, as tough as that may have been, that you needed to go through the experience of what it felt like to be raped, what it felt like to be molested, in order for you to fulfill your mission in this life. Okay. All think of whatever fucking horrible shit and the good shit. Okay. Because we get obsessed with all the bad and the shadows and the ugly stuff. But we gotta think about the good stuff too. Okay. And so you got this promotion, this raise, you're running your company, you're traveling the world. Okay, great. You chose that part of your life. But you also chose the shadow shit, the dark shit that led you to get to these beautiful human pleasures. Okay. So that's how we can, I'm talking about this today so that we can help face our karma from our past lives and understand that, it's not meant to always stay. We're meant to release these things. We're meant to move beyond the past. Okay. And the North Node shows you how you move forward away from all the traumas, all the pains, all the conditionings. Okay. And the South Node is giving you an indication of what that karmic debt might have looked like in astrology. So it'll help you to lean into and propel your growth, to propel your healing. So right now, the North Node in Gemini is all about adaptation. It's all about community. All right. It's all about telling stories and teaching and learning and being more fluid. Okay. Being less like dogmatic, less like this is what I learned, this is how I was raised, I must be like this. It's teaching us duality, that there's always more than one side to the story. It's teaching us patience. It's teaching us how to observe our reality with a more objective mind and not our subjective feelings getting all the way in the way. All right. We're leaning towards learning how to be more open, leaning how to be more honest, leaning how to communicate our ideas, to do it clearly, and to not have our emotions being in the way of that. All right. And all that has us with this karmic cycle collectively, all 9 billion of us on this planet, collectively, it has us moving away from the hierarchy of things. Okay. It's like, okay, you're on this level, and then it's like this triangle pyramid scheme. All right. Where the 1% of wealth is on the top, or the 1% of people in the world have blah, 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 and everybody else suffers in this bottom line. We're moving away from these hierarchies and we're learning how to be adaptable and more fluid and begin to mesh. All right. We're learning how to look and see each other as equals rather than, okay, well, this guy, this spiritual guru is the guru. So, we all got to listen to this guru and nothing else. Thank you guys for that like. I appreciate you all. Whoever's throwing these likes out there. It really helps the channel. Thank you guys for the comments. I can't actually see who's commenting or what's commenting right now because I'm looking at some notes that I took prior. So it's actually helping us. We're stepping away collectively from our past karma of learning that we can learn more from conversations rather than pretending we just know it all. All right. This is what's happening. As I take a sip, and we're learning how to look at ourselves and look at other people as equals, regardless of their social status, regardless of their reputation, regardless of their personal accomplishments. All right, we're learning how to see each other as equals, as humans. And now, hey, what's up, Tina? How you doing? Um, Shanice, what up? What up? What up? What up? Sorry, I'm just getting back to the comments. Um, a karmic partner will keep you coming back unless it teaches the lesson. Absolutely, we needed to learn. Absolutely. Yep. 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 Boom. Thank you for answering, Samir, because I didn't see any of these comments until right about now. How do you know your karmic debts or karmic lessons? What you need to know. You can look into your astrology chart. Hey, what's up, Shanice? You can look into your astrology chart. You also can calculate your karmic debt number. So I would just type in Google right now karmic debt number, and you can have a calculator can show you a karmic debt number, and then you can read up on that. And if it's not that, you can look into your Akashic records. And if it's not your Akashic records, then you can look into your astrology chart and you can see your karma through there as well. So there's a lot of ways to see about your karmic debt and to understand how to fulfill that debt. All right. You could also just communicate, like I was just saying, with your soulmates, with your karmic partners who are coming to teach you that lesson, who are coming to accelerate your healing, who are coming to accelerate your growth, and detach a little bit more from, oh my God, this person broke my heart. Detach from, oh my God, this person stabbed me in the back. Detach from, oh my God, this person. It's like, no, you fucking put that person in your life. I need this to be understood. Okay. Whoever hurt you, whoever loved you put both of them in your life. Okay. And so Bang. Any questions? Definitely ask. I'm doing well, thanks. All right, so let's get into the 12 karmic signs, the symptoms, and the reasons. All right. So soulmates are often the karmic partners, the karmic relationships that we attract. All right. And I'm going to give you number one on these soulmates. I know autocorrect is crazy, right? Soulmates, when you find a soulmate, you know this, you know them, because oftentimes they make you feel very light. They're very light to be around. Okay, here's the first reason. Um, and sometimes they're just only light until they get heavy. Okay, and usually when it gets heavy, sometimes the mission of a soulmate that you meet is to let go. Because think about every other time that you've been forced by life to let go of somebody, even if you felt you weren't ready. Okay. Um, Realize that this is a soul contract that you probably have with somebody. You probably had this contract to say, kind of how I was explaining earlier, hey, look, I need you to meet me. I need you to make me fall in love. I need you to be my best friend. And then I need you to break my heart as a best friend, as a lover. I need you to break my heart. I need you to force me to let go. Because think about every time you've been forced to let go, or if you intuitively follows your path and you just let that friend go, you let that lover go, you let that parent go. Because sometimes it's your parents, all right? Sometimes it's your brother or your sister. And understand that this is not always forever. Sometimes you just need to let go for, 5 months. And maybe 5 months out of the year, you were your best friends with your sister. And, you and your sister were like, you were unbreakable. You were like, you were the best. And then you and your sister you just couldn't get along. You just couldn't see eye to eye. Sometimes that happens. And that sister could have been a soulmate that you created a contract with. All right. And it's like, look, sometimes it's just a phase, sometimes it's just a season, and they come back. But ultimately, sometimes they're going to make you feel very light. And that's how you kind of can recognize these soulmates. And sometimes they're only going to feel light until they begin to feel heavy. And usually, when they start to feel heavy, it's time to check in with yourself. It's time to check in with this contract of yours and recognize, like, all right, I was feeling good with you, maybe a lover, a friend, a mother, a father, an uncle, a teacher, and then they started to feel fucking really heavy, and it was like the lesson and the love and the healing and the growth was in learning how and when to let them go. All right. So I have a question before I go to number two. Are soulmates the karmic partners we attract? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. All right. Number two, soulmates, they present a cool, calm, and connected feeling. Okay. You ever just meet somebody and everything just seems to connect, right? From the beginning. It's like soulmates have this very familiar feeling. They just feel familiar. They feel like, have we met? I feel like I know you. And sometimes, this is the thing. This is what we got to get really used to, because they bring this feeling of feeling cool, feeling calm, feeling connected. Okay. It's like, you're real familiar. Um, and understand this, that sometimes we mistake these karmic partnerships for somebody to love, right? You're like, oh my God, I feel so connected with you. I feel so loved. Like, where have you been my whole life? When you kind of hear that, where have you been my whole life? Oh my God, right? Um, it's not always somebody you're supposed to fuck. All right. It's not always somebody you're supposed to have sex with. It's not always somebody you're supposed to fall in love with. And this is where we got to get real intuitive and be less distracted and take the time to honor ourselves and to love ourselves, which is probably why these contracts were formed in the first place, because it was like, hey, look, you're out of alignment. And you knew in your past life, right around the age of 29 or 32, on the month of February, that you're going to be a little bit out of alignment because of how your path was going. So you made that soul contract in your past life so that this person can help you realign, so they can help you, bring you back to a place of feeling cool, feeling calm, and feeling connected, especially in their presence. So sometimes we're not supposed to fuck these people. Okay. Sometimes we're not supposed to have sex with these people. Sometimes we're not supposed to fall in love with these people. Think about it. How many times have you fell in love with somebody who would you and you thought afterwards, man, I wish we just stayed friends? And I know I've been victim of this in my own way. Like, there's so many people that I felt like, oh my God, like I'm in love with this person. Like, I created this fairy tale story. I put on these rose-colored glasses of like, yes, oh my God, you're the love of my life. Like, where have you been all my life? And I want to fall in love with them. Or I have sex with them way too soon, and I don't take a time to learn to just, okay, why don't you just be friends with them? And if I took the time to be friends with them, I might have noticed, like, look, this person could have stayed in my life as a very cool, calm, and connected presence. But I crossed that line, and maybe that was also part of the contract that I made in my past life, to actually cross that line on purpose in my past life. My higher consciousness knew, like, oh, he's gonna fuck this up. He's gonna try to bang these people. Thanks. I see 4 people on here. Can I get 4 thumbs up on this like and help this video, because people need to see this? Okay, I really believe in that. I really believe in this. 4 people on here. Let me get 4 thumbs up. So sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes that stranger is meant not to be our lover, not to be our fuck buddy, not to be our friends of benefits, because we were being alone. Thank you guys for those thumbs up. I see you. 4-4. Okay, we're building something here. Okay, 4 is a number of building. It's a bridge. We're building something beautiful here, and I thank you for that. So this is what I had to learn in my life. Like, not everybody, you ever had that mindset where, like, maybe you're just horny, maybe you're just lonely, and you start looking at everybody who has a beautiful spirit as fresh meat. Okay. I'm definitely, I have to call this, like, I played this role and look at somebody like, oh my God, like, I feel so attracted to them, like fresh meat, baby. We need to check in on that. We got to check in on that fresh meat concept of, like, ooh, who's that? Who's that shiny person? And recognize, like, are we doing that because we're just feeling lonely? Are we doing that because we're just feeling out of alignment or out of balance? Or are we doing that because we crave love, we crave some connection so much that we're willing to take any and everything when that person was meant to be in your life for a complete different reason? So this is when you meet these soulmates sometimes. Sometimes this is why sometimes we're the reason that these people go, because we looked at them as somebody that they weren't. We looked at them and we wanted to believe that they were supposed to be the love of our lives. Okay. Do It Yourself Black Man. I like that name. Do It Yourself Black Man. What up? It just happened to me. Absolutely. And I thank you for checking in. We're going to get real into it today. We're going to get into it. We're going to give you 12 signs, so symptoms of when you're meeting these people. Let me get into the comments real quick. Tina, what if it's a stranger and it feels like I'm getting drawn to them? So Tina, I think it's kind of just what I was just saying. Because a lot of times, think about it. If you weren't born with them, they were all strangers at one point, right? Like, at one point, before we decided to make our decisions, all of them were strangers. You feel me? Like, at one point, like, the person you're in love with now, you didn't know them when you came out the canal. You didn't know them last year. So at one point, all of us are strangers, right? So, whether it's a stranger, whether it's a familiar face or not, I don't think that matters as much as trying to take a minute to slow down and ask ourselves, why am I drawn to this person? And taking a pause and recognizing, like, look, maybe you do feel a sexual attraction to this person. Maybe you do feel love attraction to this person. And if that is true, and if you wanted them to stay in your life, the biggest thing that I know I messed up with so many times is I would take that attraction and I would go in the direction that it wasn't meant for, right? Like, if you love somebody, if you want to love somebody, if you want this person to be your lover, become their friend. Okay? This is the number one thing, because any lasting long relationship, any love relationship, these people need to be our friends. Because if that person was beautiful, if they had a fat ass, even if they had a big dick, right? If they had dick game, or if that sexual outwardly attraction was so, like, appealing, so magnetic, that's all cool. But one day they're going to be old. One day they're going to have saggy old ass skin. One day their butt is going to be sagging in the toilet, touching the toilet water. You feel me? And that's nasty, right? Isn't that nasty? Like, ew, I don't want, ew, what the fuck? That's why it's important to be their friend. Because if you can be their friend, it doesn't matter if they saggy ass is in the toilet, right? It doesn't matter if, one day, like, their fucking juices don't work and they can't give you a baby anymore. It doesn't matter if, that beautiful woman no longer, her titties ain't so perky anymore. It doesn't matter anymore, because you decide to be their friend. And this is what's really important. So even if they were a stranger, even if we were drawn to them, like, oh, take me, take me into my arms. It's like, we got to check in with the why, because generally the why is more about them, us looking at them to fill a hole. Because we're not looking, like my man DUI, Do It Yourself Black Man. We're not looking to do it ourselves. Oh, slow motion to this side. Ralph Smart. I'm quoting you, Ralph. Slow motion, baby. We got to be willing to do it ourselves. Sometimes we attract these karmic connections because we weren't willing to do it ourselves, because we were cutting ourselves short. We weren't willing to love ourselves the way we expected and desired for that next person to love us. So we got to really check in. Y'all feel me? Like, yo, I thank y'all so much for being here. Let's move on to the third reason out of 12 for the signs and the reasons of why these karmic relationships, these soulmates that we meet, why they pull up on us. And before I get into that, I'm gonna look at Tina. He's not even my type. I'm just trying to figure out why I'm so drawn to him. Boom. What if the attraction is not sexual? It's just something about him. Then communicate with him. Communicate with him. And you know what's important about communication? Is to be clear, is to be concise. Tell him up front. I've been really getting into this a lot more. Women that I've been meeting, I've been telling them up front, look, like I actually know right now that I'm not actually interested in a romantic relationship. I don't have time and I don't have space because right now I'm in a relationship with myself. So I would like to communicate this up front so that you don't begin to believe and that I can be very clear in my communication and not manipulate you. I don't want, because I had to learn for myself that I have a way of unconsciously manipulating people with words because I am who I am and I'm a kind person. You feel me? Like I'm a legitimately a kind person. I'm legitimately smiling all the time. And I have to understand that I also have a Scorpio rising. So like there's a magnetic attraction that people always have towards me. So by me understanding these elements of myself, I can understand that even if I'm not thinking about this person romantically, I failed many times to communicate that. I failed many times to communicate that I'm not romantically or sexually interested in you. I actually really like communicating with you. I love having conversations. We get to have deep ass connected conversations. And for me, that's a turn on, but it's an intellectual and a mental stimulation that I require from any relationship. A relationship being my relationship to you. And by me being clear and concise that my relationship to you is not romantic, then I can keep that person in my life and I can maintain that stimulation. And then I don't have to feel obligated. And that person doesn't feel obligated to send me a good night text, to send me a good morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, good morning. Oh, good morning. I hope you slept well. You know, oh, good night. I hope you have a good rest. It's like that's not required by friends. You feel me? But when you're getting that, it's important to take a second to pause and recognize, look, like, you being kind, you over talking, over communicating because of some false sense of obligation is is manipulating that person who you only want to communicate with. You only want them to intellectually stimulate you. Samir, I see you're out of here. I see you around, guy. I know your time zone. You might be really late. I don't know what time it is, but I know it has to be late. So let's see what's happening. So, Tina, I hope that answers your question about him not even being your type and not being sexual. Pernell Bobby, for your awareness time, spreading the light. Yeah, stay blessed. Absolutely. Good night, my dude, or whatever you're going to do. And I'm going to get into the third reason right now. 12 signs and reasons and symptoms. The third one is, you have a soulmate when there's a mutual respect, okay? Even, and this is important because I have this with a good friend of mine. His name's Vince, and we had this conversation. So even especially when you have a distaste for certain parts of their characteristics, okay? How many of us has friends that there are moments where you really can't fucking stand them? Like, they're your friend, okay? I know this guy's my friend, but there are moments where I'm like, he be making me like scratch my head, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why can't you? Why? I'd be like having a moment like, why can't you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, why are you being so fucking hard-headed and thinking that blah 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 is the only way of living? And me and Vince be having these conversations, and we be talking to each other. We be honest about each other back and forth, and we have these moments where it'd be like, yo, look, like there are moments where 3-4 months out of the year, I can't talk to him. There were stages where like I was like, look, I gotta accept that. Like, I love this dude. I fucking love him. He helped me so much in my business. He helped me to register my business. He helped guide me through my taxes. He works in the financial department. He helps entrepreneurs, and he helped me as an entrepreneur. And I love him forever, right? But there are other times when he's a soulmate of mine, right? I know he's a soulmate of mine. And there are other times when like I can't fucking stand him, and he feels the same way for me. And when you have soulmates, like a soulmate is not afraid to tell you the truth. A soulmate is not afraid to be like, look, I fucking love you, but you fucking up right now. Like, you going in the wrong direction. And a soulmate is also not afraid to tell you, like, hey, you know what? I really appreciate you being honest with me And, 6 months ago, I really couldn't fucking stand you. 6 months ago, you told me something and it fucking hurt my feelings, but it was the best thing. I got a best friend that told me one day, it's like, yo, you need to stop being a little bitch and get your shit together. And that's exactly what I needed to hear from my soulmate. And this is a guy. There's nothing to do with romantic connection. And this guy told me, yo, you need to stop being a little bitch and get your shit together. And I was like, one part of me was hurt. One part of me was like, the fuck you think you are, right? And another part of me was like, damn, that hurt. Damn, that fucking hurt. And then the third part of me was able to say, okay, that hurt because I needed to hear it. That hurt because this is my soulmate. It's a karmic relationship. And I put him in my life to keep me to fucking check sometimes. So soulmates, there's a mutual respect between you and your soulmate. This is what I really want to make the picture. I want to paint the picture with mutual respect is also brutal honesty. It doesn't have to always be brutal, but they're willing to be brutal. Okay, it doesn't have to be brutal, but they're willing to tell you the hard truths. And sometimes the hard truths are brutal. So that's one of the third signs and symptoms. If you know you got a soulmate that you created a soul contract with in your past life, whether romantic, platonic, or otherwise, sometimes you got to accept that these people are here for either a reason, a season, or to stay. And some of your friends are here; they're going to stay here, but sometimes they're out of season. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they're out of season. You ever had that one restaurant that you love, but it only comes out in the summertime? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it was like a lobster business or like a fish business, but it only comes out in the summertime. And it comes out like when, in the season of spring and, or think about like, a certain fruit in certain countries, you can have pineapples. Oh, but pineapples aren't in season right now. Or you got avocados, and it's like, I love avocados. I love them. I love them. I love them. But they're not in season right now. We gotta look at our soulmates and our karmic connections the same way. That doesn't mean you don't love them because you guys aren't communicating, but sometimes they're just not in season. It's a good time to ask any questions while I take a sip of water, and then I'm gonna get to the fourth sign and fourth reason behind soulmates, karmic connections, why they exist. Okay, good. So here's number 4. So number 4 is when they seem like they just can't go too far. Who of us had that person in our life where it seems like no matter how much they disrespect you, maybe, which you shouldn't be allowing disrespect, personal opinion, but no matter how much, no matter how many lines they seem to cross, boundaries, you seem to always be able to have compassion for them for whatever awkward reason. And that's not always explainable from a rational and a logical sense, but it almost seems otherworldly, right? Like it almost seems like, yo, you know what? Like I could just knock you the fuck out. They just like they're willing to cross lines, and for whatever reason, they're the only person that can cross that line. For whatever reason, sometimes that's like a lot of times this would be a family too, right? A lot of times this would be like your mom, or this would be like your uncle or your cousin or your dad. And it's like, yo, that mother you can't get rid of your parents, right? Like you can't, like sure they can die, but it's like we don't wish that on them, right? We don't wish that upon them. But sometimes they just be crossing certain lines, and it's like, damn, but you somehow find a way to still have compassion for them. And you almost don't even know why. A lot of times these are soulmates. I mean, if you think about it, like in some capacity, if you chose your parents, like they're your soulmates, right? They're gonna somehow, one way, shape, or form, it's not gonna change. They're gonna be your mom, they're gonna be your dad. And sometimes they show up as a soulmate. Sometimes it seems like, fuck, like, I could fucking just choke you out. Thank you guys for that like. I see you up here. Thank you for sharing this with people that they need to hear this, because how many of us have torn relationships with our parents? Okay. How many of us have torn relationships with our parents because we refuse to allow our perception of them to expand and to grow? Think about it. Think about it. Like, take a second. Take a second. Sometimes we're judging our parents, but we didn't live in their shoes and we didn't live in their time. And we don't know the sacrifice that they had to go to in order to give us the life that we're currently living. That could have been financial support, and maybe they fucking failed in the financial support, and maybe they didn't have the money, but they gave you love. You know what I'm saying? They gave you a home and a roof. And maybe they weren't able to give you a home and a roof. Maybe they just couldn't do that, but they put you through college. They found a way to get you through those stages. Okay? And maybe they didn't get to do that. Maybe you wish that they did, but they didn't. But they were able to give you something else. Okay? And for whatever reason, it's like sometimes these are our soulmates, and it seems otherworldly. Like we just have to keep having compassion. So when you have your soulmates, you recognize somebody as a karmic counterpart. Have compassion for them, okay? And compassion comes from a place of experience. It's much easier to have compassion with somebody when you've gone through the same experience as them. And it's much easier not to have empathy, not to have compassion with somebody when you didn't go through what they didn't go through. So if you have a soulmate in your life, you know you can't get rid of them. You know you're not even supposed to. Let's say this is a family member as a soulmate showing up. If you have no compassion for them, if you have no empathy for them, maybe it's time to look at what did they go through that you didn't go through. Because it's more likely the reason why you don't have any empathy for them. It's more likely the reason why you have no compassion for their story. Because do you really know? Did you walk in their shoes? And if you did walk in their shoes, if you walked in your parents' shoes, would you have survived the same life that they had to survive? Could you do it? Because I could tell you right now, like my parents, they grew up and my grandma grew up more in the Black Panther. And it's like, to be honest, I was not built to live in that era of slavery because I'm the one that would have fucking killed somebody. And I would have not been able to teach you guys what I'm trying to do and share with you today. But because my parents and my grandparents went through what I didn't have to go through, what I may not ever fully understand, that level of slavery, right? Like having to watch people being hanged by a tree. There's a tree down the street, ladies and gentlemen. I am in a redneck white state. Let's be honest. There's a tree down the street and it has a rope hanging from that tree. There's a rope hanging on the front lawn of this person's tree. And I'm here as a Black man. I am the one to be hung. You feel me? But I'm able to now, through living my own past lives and through living through, I'm able to have compassion and empathy and recognize that that's that person's problem. I don't need to be enraged and furious about this. But there's a point in my life where I would have been enraged and I would have been furious about this because I didn't remember who I was. I had to go through my lessons. I had to have my kind of, I had to have certain relationships. And for me, I had certain relationships with white women who would trigger the fuck out of me through racial injustices, racial like lack of compassion, lack of empathy, because they didn't live the experience. They had a lack of compassion, they had a lack of empathy. You feel me? But me going through those relationships allow me to in turn turn back around and have a compassion, have empathy for that person, recognizing that they didn't go through that, that they don't know what that is like. They don't understand slavery. They don't understand the mentality that you go through as a Black person growing up in America. And so because of that, because I lived that experience, that soulmate, that partnership, okay, it taught me how to navigate and be able to live in a state where the fucking rope is hanging from the tree and not go up to that person's door and kill them, right? To not even have rage or anger flow through me, but to just be compassionate and realize, damn, that person's still suffering in 2021. Like I'm able to see it from a new set of eyes, right? So now that person, they can't go too far. Even though certain other people, maybe they look at the rope on the hanging from the tree, maybe that's going too far for somebody else on this fifth reason for where soulmates pop up. Maybe that is what needed to happen in my last relationship before I got here in order for me to be able to stay grounded, focused, and able to realize that that person is still suffering. And to also then switch it to my mindset of gratitude of, wow, thank God I'm not still suffering. Thank God I'm not angry and enraged and want to feel, uh, uh, I don't know, like a mindset of revenge or vengeance or just rage for all my other people that had to suffer. You feel me? So let's move on to the fifth reason. I'm going to take another sip of water. Good time for anybody to ask any questions in the comments. That said, I am running a workshop. I'm going to be helping you guys do a mind map. I'm going to be for Sagittarius new moon. It's going to be helping you guys run a mind map. It's going to help you to create your vision board. All right. I'm not going to be waiting to know January 1st to write your vision. It's like, no, it's Sagittarius season today. Sagittarius is I see. Okay. So we have the ability to see into the future. We have the ability to see what's going to expand us. I'm running this workshop. Anybody interested in that? Just drop an emoji in the comments. Just drop interested, whether you're watching this on the replay or you're watching this now. And it's all donation based. All my workshops, I run them on the full moon and the new moon, full moon and the new moon. They're always donation based. I leave it at that because it's like whatever you're able to put in, you're able to put in. For me, it's not about the money. It's more about the commitment to yourself. So whatever you're able to put in, you're able to put in. But obviously, like, yeah, this is my job. So it's like whatever you want to give, I really appreciate it. Right now, we got 2 people interested in that. That's going to be coming up. And I didn't even put the word out. To be honest, it's the first time I put the word out loud. All right. So number 5, karmic relationships. All right. Soulmates seem familiar and they feel familiar as if I know this person already. So we kind of already talked about this one. So I won't spend a lot of time because we really talked about that. And I think all of us kind of really resonate with that. Like we've all met that person. The only thing I'm going to reiterate for maybe people that are on here that are new is recognize that not everybody you feel that comfortable feeling with, not everybody you feel like, oh my God, they're so familiar, they feel familiar. Not all of them are somebody to fuck, okay? We got to really slow down our sexual drives. I say this as somebody born in the age of Pluto and Scorpio, right? So Pluto and Scorpio is like our sex drives are fucking tremendous. I'm also a Scorpio rising. Like sex drive is like, it's like way, way, way up, right? And whatever placements you have in Mars in your astrology chart can also speak for your sex drive. But collectively, at least my bracket of people, what is that, 8 years or so, our sex drives, we're Scorpio, Pluto and Scorpio, we're here to use sexuality. This is things like you see the rise, right? You see our generation, pansexual, demisexual, bisexual, transgender. This is Scorpio and Pluto and Scorpio, bringing sexuality out there, transforming all of our repressed fears. So I only say that to say, like, not all the people we feel a familiar connection, a soulmate connection, like a draw, like, oh, you feel that draw, oh, take me away, take me away. Now, all those people were people that were supposed to fuck. So sometimes I say this for guys, recognize that, you have 3 brains, all right? You got the brain here, which can think your way into trouble. You got the brain down there, which is your dickhead, like that has a brain which is like, I want what I want, and it could be impulsive. We got to tame the dragon. For all my men listening to this, it's like one of the most important things I've ever done in my life is learning how to tame the dragon and recognizing that there's a second brain, okay? That there's a second brain in your penis. And that brain thinks separately from this logical, rational mind. And we need to use discernment to recognize not everybody is to be fucked just because you have an urge, just because you feel this draw, like, oh my God, that draw. We gotta be real mindful of confusing that draw with sexual desire. Because it's not always sexual desire. Sometimes it's like that person is supposed to be your friend. Or sometimes, and I had to learn this younger in my career as well, it's like, like some of those people I crossed lines, and it's like those people were clients. Okay, those people were literally trying to they loved me for the knowledge I was bringing into the world, and I crossed lines, I crossed boundaries, and thought with my second brain and thought, oh well, this attraction is because we want to have sex. Right, we want to have sex. It's like, no, you got to tame the fucking dragon and realize that this is maybe like 6, 7, I don't even know. I was like 24. So it's like whenever I was like 24, that was the switch. I start realizing, okay, Pernell, like a lot of these people, you're missing your business. You're fucking up your business because you're thinking with your dick, and you gotta get real. And that began to change my business entirely. Okay, especially because a lot of my clientele, I think like 74% of my clientele is women. So I really had to like learn that lesson. Like not everybody's here for sex. So that's what I want to say. Okay, Shanice, what you talking about? Wow, I'm Pluto and Scorpio rising too. Oh yeah, Scorpio risings and Pluto and Scorpio, your sex drive is so uncontrollable. Like it's really hard to get in tune and realize that like sexuality. What I had to learn is our magneticism is so spiritual. Okay, it's so unseen where it can become our biggest enemy because Scorpio is I desire. Okay, so when you have your rising, which is I am, your rising sign is like I am, it's yourself as a form of being in Pluto, which is power. Okay, it's like I am power. So it's like I desire power. So I desire power and control and dominance over somebody through sex. Okay, like literally, like did that connect the dots for somebody? I desire control, dominion, power, control over you and myself through the modality and through the expression of sex. So we got to check in with that because shit's real. So I hope that resonates. Scorpio rising, Mars and Taurus. Sex is very important. Yeah, and sex and Taurus kind of can help because sex and Taurus can really slow down the sex drive. I said sex and Taurus. Look at me, fucking Scorpio. Sex, 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 sex. I love sex, which is true, and there's nothing wrong with that. But also to understand that Taurus, which is the opposite of Scorpio, it's not just the sex itself, right? First off, it's the desire for sensual touch and for our senses, all six of them, to be pleased. Smell, okay? Smell. It's like you want to smell the candles, you want to smell the eucalyptus on that person's body. It's more about learning to take your time because desire is very powerful and it's desire is important. I think too many people, Scorpios are here to also teach people where desire plays a role and how it's important. Desire is critical. It's a part of our human existence. So it's not something to run away from, it's not something to avoid, it's something to honor, but understand that desire is so much more succulent when you take your time. And this is what Taurus teaches us, to take our time. And Scorpio also knows really how to take its time. Scorpio has the ability, and how it could control people is by not giving people what they want, which may be sex, right? Like that magnetic draw toward them, not giving the sex right away, which only increases the desire. Especially, let's say if you're in a relationship, it's like, look, like just because you can fuck every day, it's like, no, like you transmute that sexual energy. And this is where I'm really at in my life, is like transmuting sexual energy, intentionally not blowing my gasket, and rather move that energy up my spine, move that energy to my third eye so that I can use my imagination to create, move that energy into my heart chakra so that I can heal, so that I can forgive, so that I can grow and stop being bitter of the people that I feel like have hurt me. Okay. And recognize that I hurt myself. So this is where Scorpio is also here to teach other people how to transmute their sexual energy. So when we stop giving our energy and our life force, which is really godly life force energy, like it's godly in nature, that life force energy, that sacral chakra energy, it is here to heal. It is here to transform our pains into pure light, pure energy, which heals the world. Okay. If that resonates, just let me know in the comments, like, boom, that resonates. If I'm off, let me know. Because like I said, we're in South Node, past life collectively as a Sagittarius right now. And that is for teachers, gurus, leaders to not believe that whatever they say is law, whatever they say is the rule of thumb. Okay. It's for us to understand that with the North Node in Gemini, where we're heading, our collective destiny, our 9 billion people on the planet, is to communicate, to share information, to receive knowledge back in like duality of Gemini to get both sides. Oh my God, I'm going to end up taking my shirt off. I'm talking about like sex and shit. I'm like, I'm getting hot. The sun is starting to cook out and I'm like sweating underneath here. I'm like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I thank y'all for checking in. Boom, Scorpio rising, Mars. I talked about the Mars and Taurus. Yeah, Mars and Taurus is dope because y'all definitely know how to take your time. You know how to take your time. And remember that with Taurus and Scorpio, the key is to finish that note, and I'll get to the next karmic point, to smell, the taste. Okay. They want to taste, the succulent honey on your skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the coconut oil. They rub you down. They take their time with the coconut oil to give you a massage, whatever it is, and they might want to taste that coconut oil literally off your fresh ass body. They want to hear the frequencies or even the moans, right? The pleasures coming for Taurus and Scorpio from all of these things, from the subtle moan that's not so loud where the neighbors are hearing, but it's like, hey, look, this is for me and you. And maybe depending on the day, they want to hear it and they want the neighbors to hear it too, okay? And the neighbors know my name, and me screaming, scratching, yelling, doo, 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 doo. And the neighbors know my name. Doo, 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 doo. So what is the other one? Taste, smell, touch. Okay, they want to touch, obviously, and they want to see. Okay, the whole thing about Scorpio and Taurus is to please the five senses. So it's not about the nut. Okay, it's not about the orgasm. The orgasm is just a product of the entire experience. It's about the entire experience, and the orgasm afterward, which I would like to say as well. I've found more pleasure from orgasms that do not have to do with me actually ejaculating, but having orgasms from being touched, having orgasms from being licked, having orgasms from being sniffed. And a lot of my karmic partners, a lot of my soulmates that I've met have taught me that this is more important for me rather than goal orientated sex. So like more fire signs, and be like, and I'm like an Aries, right? Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, they get their ego stroked by giving somebody this goal orientated bomb ass experience. Okay, but that's very different than water signs like a Scorpio. It's not goal orientated. It's more of a feeling process the entire way. All right. I was just playing that song an hour ago. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, I heard that shit yesterday, and I was like, "What the fuck?" That shit was popping in college, and I have this very distinct memory when I was living in college. You got an Aries Moon, me too, and that Aries Moon is bonkers. Aries Moon had me sending. I made a song yesterday for an old lover, and I sent that shit through an email. Literally, Aries Moon had me feeling like I had a dream. Like literally, I had a dream about really somebody really critical in my life. To be honest, I can't decipher if this person is actually supposed to be in my life or not. But Aries Moon is like, I'm feeling what I'm feeling, and I gotta say it now. And I remember telling myself like, all right, Pernell, you're gonna make this song and you're gonna put it in the box, but you're gonna not send this until 24 hours. You're not gonna send this until tomorrow to realize, do you really want to send this or not? And I got so passionate, I got so enthusiastic, so Aries Moon in my feelings, and I was like, I'm sending it now. I'm sending it right now. That's Aries Moon. And that shit is so crazy because today I was literally thinking, and I was like, one, I'm happy that I don't fear rejection. Like, I'm really happy that like I'm not like, oh, what if this person doesn't ever text me back or whatever? They don't ever say anything about it. Thankfully, I'm not there. Um, but I did catch myself thinking in my mind today. I was like, Pernell, what the fuck? You didn't even talk to this person in 6 months, and you're just gonna send this song. You're just gonna send this song. You're just gonna fucking impulsively like just throw it out there. But I found peace of mind as well in the fact that it's Cancer Moon, in the fact that the sun is in Sagittarius today, and it's like past past relationships, past connections are gonna pull up. So I found peace in the fact that look, even if this isn't reciprocated, even if like I was way the fuck out of line, I was feeling what I was feeling, and maybe it was just my time to be the past coming into somebody else's life, and their lesson is to either say yes I received this or no I don't accept this. That's not up for me. I had to do what I had to do. So the Aries Moon, man, that shit be crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I be feeling what I be feeling, I gotta express it. I'm like, I gotta fucking say it out loud, say it proud, say it bold. All right, well, did I write number 6 up here already? Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste that to again. I'm gonna give you number 6 out of the karmic. um Yo, I'm really getting hot. I'm getting hot. All right. If this continues. Number 6, your life. All right. This is signs and reasons if you know you made a soul contract in your past life and you're gonna meet these soulmates. Okay. Your life is enriched. If you feel like your life is just the value, your worth is just rising around certain people, you probably made a contract with that person. You ever got that friend that every time you talk to them, you feel lifted? right? I had a conversation prior to this, and I talked to my friend, and I felt lifted. My life was enriched. My purpose was enriched. I got real in line. I got in tune with, what's here, why it's here. So that's a good sign of something that you have a contract with that person. And karmic relationships bring harmony and they bring balance. So this is another sign. There's another reason. How many of us have people in our lives that we know bring balance? I want you, if you do, I want you, even if you don't reach out to them, I want you to just say thank you in the comments. Whether you're watching this on the replay or watching this live, I want you to just say thank you in the comments and let this energy go out to the people who do bring harmony in your life. Okay. I was gonna say their name, but that's not really necessary. Just say thank you and have them in your mind in the comments why you say thank you. To just send them a blessing. Okay. Every morning, one of my mantras, I wake up and I thank people, or I send love out to people. A lot of times I send them out to people that I feel like I don't like. I send them out to people that I feel like have hurt me, or people I feel bitter towards, or people I feel like, fuck this person, or people I always try to then be like, oh, fuck this person. I'd be like, you know what? I want to send some love out to this person. I want to send some gratitude out to this person because for whatever reason I'm saying fuck them. For whatever reason I feel bitter for them. They're guiding me on my healing journey. They're guiding me to growing away and out of this mindset, because I don't really want to live with any kind of hate, any kind of malice in my life. I don't want that. But I'm not going to deny that there's some bitter parts to me. Like I had to recognize this in this past Scorpio season. There were some parts of me that are bitter. There were some parts of me I'm like, you know what? You know what? Fuck you. You fucking used me and I didn't know it. And I'm bitter because I didn't know it. And I thought you were a real one. I really believed that you wanted the best for me. I genuinely believed it. And that's why it hurt so bad, because I fucking believed it. And even if there's another, and I'm more bitter because there's a part of me in the back of my mind that didn't believe it, that was like, damn, this person is here, but they're not fully genuine. They're not fully genuine. And that's actually why I'm bitter. So I try to send whoever brings me into that element, that reactionary sense, I try to send out love to those people every day, every morning, and try to find reasons. I express these things to myself, but I also try to express these things and be like, you know what, fuck you. Like to myself sometimes, like, fuck you. And I'm like tapping, doing my emotional freedom, tapping, you motherfucker, I can't stand you. You fucking, you. And then I try to like release the energy. But I also take the same amount of time to spend it on the productive side, which both are productive. I think both are productive. We need to stop acting, like these karmic contracts that we created. We need to stop acting like these people that we didn't create this contract with them so that they can teach us something. And sometimes, a lot of times, experiencing the rage or the anger or the hurt by just being honest. If we can't be honest with ourselves and just talk to ourselves sometimes and be like, I fucking hate you, or I fucking can't stand you, I'm fucking angry, whatever, and release that, express that, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice. I think we're being fucking delusional if we think that the whole world is going to be positive. I think we're delusional if we don't remember that we're in a spiritual war. I think we're delusional if we don't realize that there's fucking angels, demons, and all types of other shit that you don't even want to meet. That we're in a battle, okay? That we're in a battle, and that Earth is the fucking training grounds, okay, for the spiritual war. Like I had to go off on a tangent for a second. Like Earth is the training ground. We come to Earth to learn our lessons and to hone our powers, to hone our psychic abilities, to hone our boundaries, to increase our boundaries, to set up our energetic barriers from people that are trying to drain us, from energy vampires. We need those motherfuckers because they're teaching us how and where our defenses are weak. They're teaching us how to use our offensive skills and our weapons. If all my Scorpio risings on here, that fucking death stare, that is an offensive weapon. That is I will fucking look at you to death and I will say nothing, but you will know my wrath, motherfucker. You feel me? So like that's one of your powers. So understand that we came to Earth to hone our skills. We came to Earth to hone our powers. This is the training ground because there's a spiritual war, and when you finally live your life cycles here on Earth, you're going back to the spirit war. You're going back to the fucking unseen battles, and you're getting a little bit of that spiritual war is bleeding into your subconscious, is bleeding into your psychological frame, so that you can learn how in a safe training ground to fight back. Okay. So we need you. This is also like part of my mission. Like, I have to use these terminologies sometimes, like soul contracts, karmic relationships, soulmates, because we understand this as human beings on this plane. We understand narcissists. We understand empaths. So I have to use these terminology. We understand karmic debt and akashic records. So I have to use these terms. But let's not get it twisted of why I'm here. Okay, like, I'm here because this is training. We're training. All right. So number 6. Yeah, we already said number 6. So we're going to number 7 out of the 12 reasons for this, the karmic signs, the reasons that we're here, that we meet our karmic partners. And here is what it is. So thank you guys for also saying thank you in the comments, because you sent some love out to the people that bring harmony, that enrich your life, and they're gonna get that. Okay. I had to learn, even the people that hurt you, you don't have to call them up. You don't have to call these people to be like, hey, by the way, I just want to say, like, I appreciate you so much, and like, oh my God, you changed my life, and oh my God, like, you've enriched my being, and oh my God, like, I'm so grateful for you. That's good too, but it also costs energy. So don't forget that also costs energy. So sometimes you sometimes you keep yourself more balanced when you know that your karmic partner knows, and people you create a contract with, your soulmates, your twin flame, whoever. You don't always need to call that twin flame. You don't always need to call that karmic partner, that lover. Sometimes you could just send that love out, and you could just say it, because it costs me a lot less energy to be right here and just take a moment of silence and hear and feel the breeze on my skin and just say, damn, you know what, Jamie? I know you're launching that project right now and you're getting ready to run that retreat. And I just want to send you out a clear mind. I just wish you the best structure and integrity in all the things that you do, so that you can lead these people in the right way. And I know you can do it. And I bless you and I thank you. And that just took me 12 to 15 seconds. But you know what? That's out into the ether. Okay. You sent the love. You don't need to prove. You don't need the validation from the person to sing back, from that soulmate to come back to you and be like, hey, thanks, Pernell. You don't need that validation. Thanks, Pernell. I really needed to hear that right now. I really appreciate you. You're the best. Like, so we got to check in with sometimes when we're being nice because we're ulterior motives, because we're lonely, because we want a friend, because we want somebody to talk to. So we doing it. We send them wishing to them. We send them a message, but we're looking for something in return. We gotta be real careful with that, because that could also be why your karmic relationship exists, so that they can teach you to stop being nice with ulterior motives and learn that there's a difference between being nice and being kind. Because when you're being kind, you're doing things for people and you're not expecting anything back. So I thank you guys for saying thank you in the comments and sending that love out to the person that you had in mind, that brings you harmony, that brings you balance. And I want to just say right now, as channeling through, that they got that. They received it. Okay. And they needed it. So thank you. All right. Bang. Number 7, soulmates break away and come back together throughout life phases, but you just understand. So this one, right? You ever had that friend where, like, yo, y'all don't talk until, like, once every 2 years, once every year, but every time you talk, it's like you just left off where you left off, right? I got a friend, her name's Andrea. I don't even know the last country I saw her. I think it was Thailand. And it's like I only see her every time I see her in another country. It's so crazy. Like I saw her in Malaysia. I saw her in Thailand. I forget where else. Bali, I think. And it's like every time we meet, it's like we don't never talk. Every once in a while, I'll send her a message. She never fucking responds to me. She never returns my text message. But then there's always just that one time when she does. Like, I even think I sent her a birthday text. Her birthday was in, like, Scorpio season. I sent her a birthday text. She didn't say shit back. But that's perfectly fine. Okay? So these are your soulmate connections. It's like, look, she's going through whatever she's going through. And that's perfectly fine. So when we do things because we're just doing it from the genuine place of our heart, we're being kind, and we're not being nice with an ulterior motive because we're looking for that person to build us up, or we're looking to take some of their energy back. Oh, I gave you energy, give me energy. No, it doesn't work like that. And if it does, then we need to check in with ourselves. We need to check in with, why is that person your friend? Is that person your friend because you really love them? Or is that person your friend because you know what they can give you? You know what that kind of energetic exchange they can provide? So, understand that soulmates connections, they break away, all right, and they come back. So you don't gotta stress, all right? And you know who those people are because they make you feel safe. They make you feel grounded. They help you go through your healing process. Sometimes they would have saw that message, um, and they didn't respond anyways because they just couldn't. Because maybe they're going through something and they just needed to hear that they do have a team. They needed to hear that they got support, but they also weren't strong enough to respond back yet. Because maybe whatever they're going through in their life is what they're going through. Maybe what they're going through in their life is what they're growing through. Oh, angel message. That was the one. My angels just started ringing. I'm going to say it again. Maybe what they're going through is what they're growing through. Okay. And it will require too much energy that they don't have to spare to bring back that love and that joy and that energy to you. But understand that there's going to be a day where you're going to be down. There's going to be a day where I'm going to be down. I'm going to be down and out on my knees. And to be honest, on this path, like I have plenty of moments, I have plenty of times where I like, you know what, God, I fucking quit, bro. You know what, God, I quit, ma'am. Fuck it, I'm out. Take me out of here. I'm sick of it. The people don't want to listen. They don't want to hear. Fuck it, God. Take me out. I got bills, God. Take me out. God, I want love too, God. God, I want a fucking partner. I want to feel love too, God. Take me out. I fucking quit. I don't want to teach no more. We all have those moments, and I have them frequently, right? But sticking to your spiritual practices, understanding that your support system is out there, um, putting out that good energy, putting out those good vibes, putting out that love, those blessings, that gratitude for other people who may not necessarily respond. Maybe it's just not their season to be in your life, and maybe they did see that message, they just didn't get it, or they just didn't have energy to respond. You're gonna go through that one day too, and recognize that all that beautiful shit you just put out by saying thank you and honoring those people, it's gonna come back to you. Tina, you got those friends. Bang. Shanice is hitting. Bang. Good to hear it. Okay, number 8. Yo, I am fucking cooking. This sun. What's up, son? You were cold earlier. Okay. Okay. All right, number 8. Search for meaning in the bigger picture. Your traumas and triggers are the path. All right, bam. There we go. So your traumas, your triggers, they're a path. Sometimes your soulmates are just here to trigger you. I think a lot of time these type of soulmates I think often come not in the form of friends, but like lovers. Okay, people you actually love, people that you deeply wanted to love you the same way. You deeply wanted them to reciprocate the love that you felt like you were putting out there, or maybe you weren't putting the love out there and you weren't reciprocating the love that they were giving you. A lot of times these soul contracts are created where it's like sometimes we're going to be in phases in our life where I'm not actually ready to love, but I'm asking for love. And then these contracts come in so that these soulmates come in so that they can show me that I'm asking for what I'm not prepared to actually accept. Like I'm asking for love, I got love, but the reflection showed me that I didn't really want love. I just maybe that I didn't want to be alone because I wasn't ready to love, but I asked for it. So sometimes that's where those triggers come from. That's where those traumas get to rise up and remind us that here's what you need to do in order to tune your frequency, tune your vibration, so that you are prepared for the lover, for that love story, and not obsessed with the story of, the Cinderella kind of rose-colored glasses story, but that you have done the healing so that when that partner, when that lover comes, that you can actually keep them in your life, that you can actually love them the way they deserve to be loved, that you can actually receive. This is the big one for me. This is the big one that I can learn to actually receive. This is the biggest one for me that I had to prepare myself to receive the love that I was asking for. And most of my life, I wasn't prepared to receive the love that I was asking for. So it wasn't that I couldn't give love. Like I think I've always been really good at like giving love, right? But I had to recognize that part of my giving love was also part of this hero mentality of like wanting to save these hoes. Like literally, this is something I had to like, and I don't mean to say this in any disrespectful way, but like for the expression, so you can kind of understand. I had to realize at a certain stage in my life, like I was into the business of saving these hoes, and it's like these hoes don't love you. What is that song? These hoes ain't loyal. You know, and these hoes ain't loyal. And it's like, understand that, like, not everybody that you feel like you want to love is based off of truth. Because not everybody that I said I wanted to love was based in truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are times in my life where I was running from my own healing. I was running from my own traumas. I was running from my own triggers. And I was doing that by self-sabotaging the love that I felt like I wanted, the love that I was asking for. And so I would love on people who I knew couldn't reciprocate the love, and nor were they trying to reciprocate the love. I would love people who I knew subconsciously could never give me what I wanted, could never give me what I needed. And they weren't even thinking about giving anything that I desired. And I knew that subconsciously, I knew that unconsciously. So I would self sabotage by giving my love to the people who I knew were emotionally closed off. Because then that means that I didn't have to go through my own healing. That means that I didn't have to face my emotions. That means I didn't have to face my own darkness. So sometimes these soulmates, these contracts come in. Sometimes you create sometimes you create. I'm gonna say this one. Sometimes we create contract with hoes. Think about it. So I know a lot of ladies are in listening. Sometimes you create contract with the bad boys because you know they can't give you something long term. You know they can only give you excitement for the moment. And that excitement allows you not to have to what? Do your own healing. That's why we girls chase the bad boys. Girls chase the bad boy because they know. They know. They don't really want the nice guys. They shit on the nice guys and they allow the bad boys to shit on them. What the fuck is up with that? They shit on the nice guys and they let the bad boys shit on them. They shit on the nice guys and they let the bad boys shit on them. Why? It's self-sabotage. You know. Somewhere deep within you, you already know. You know why you choose the bad boy. And understand that you can have both. You can have the bad boy and the nice guy. I mean, I could tell you myself, I'm a bad boy and I'm a nice guy. It's just what it is. I'm a bad boy and I'm a nice guy. I'm a bad boy and I'm a nice guy. I'm all them things, all in one. So I know it exists. I'm literally, you're on the other side watching this camera. I know it exists. And I think it's the same thing for any of my fellas that watch this replay or live, that I could have that exotic woman and that submissive woman. Like I could have that strong, bold, courageous, independent woman and that submissive woman. And at one point, I thought that maybe that wasn't possible. And then also, it had to come to the realization that, like, that's a part of something that I do desire. Like, I want my woman in the streets to be fucking strong. I want people to be able to walk by her and know you can't fuck with her. Not because I'm sitting there with her, but because she carries that energy within herself. She's unfuckwittable. I want a woman like that. I want a woman who knows, bitch, you can't fuck with me. And at the same time, like, I want that woman to also be submissive. Like, and I also want to be submissive to my woman. So it's not even like a one-way street. Like, I want a woman that I also could be submissive with, but I also want a woman that, like, I don't want to dominate my woman. I don't. I don't. Shit, I want her to dominate me, and I want to dominate her, but I want it to be equal exchange. I care about that, and to understand that, like, that's possible. I can have that strong ass independent woman who's financially secure, who's emotionally stable, and I still want that woman who's willing to cry, who's willing to show me her emotions. And I want to be with a woman who also I can show my emotions with, and recognize and not judge or criticize, and recognize that men need to show that they care. Men need to show more than, hey, I can provide. And I want that woman. And I recognize, like, look, like, we can have that. We can have both. I want the bad girl and I want the housewife. You know what I'm saying? I want the enterprise woman and I want the submissive nature. I want both. I want all of it. And we can have it all. Okay. So let's move into the next one. Unless you guys have any questions, that makes sense right there. I can relate to you on this. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that from a woman because, you know, they might think I'm crazy, but fuck them. I don't even give a fuck. I want what I want. I desire. I desire. So the key is when those triggers and those pain come, to search for the, God damn, it's hot. The key is to search for the bigger meaning. I'm literally cooking, bro. Search for the bigger meaning in those traumas and those triggers. The things that trigger you, search for the bigger meaning, okay? Because it exists. There's something to be taught. There's something to be learned. All right, here we go. Faith, destiny. All right, 1 second. Fucking cooking. Okay. My mic's still here. Okay, bang. So where we at? My next number 9. Ooh, okay. I just saw the first couple words as I get my glasses back on. See me squinting. I'm over here like, I can see the words. Like, no, the fuck you can't. Okay. Damn, another foggy. That sucks. Whatever. All right. Destiny versus fate. Carve your path. Not on the mission to return. 333 oneness. All right, that's a whole fucked up sentence, but I think I know what I meant. You carve your path, not the mission. Oh, okay. So destiny versus fate. Okay, sometimes soulmates pull up to remind you, okay, during your healing journey, destiny versus fate. Destiny, so I'm getting confused on which one is which now. Okay, destiny, fate. Destiny. So your destiny is written, okay? You come back into this life, like your destiny is what it is. No, I think faith is. Fate. Okay, your fate is written out for you. You come back into this light, your fate is written for you, all right? But destiny, you get to carve the way you live it out. You get to carve how you live it, all right? And it's awkward because I just had a 333 painted in big red fucking passionate bold letters. And I had a dream. I had a dream, and there was an ex-girl in my dream. And I literally had 3, she was in 3 of my dreams in like 3 consecutive nights, which is funny, right? Because one of them was 333, literally. And oh my God, I'm having a whole fucking download. Like I'm having like I'm getting like lit up in the head right now. Okay, give me a second. I gotta collect myself. All right. Because I wrote this 6 days ago. And mind you, like I said, on the first part 1 of this soul contracts, the cat knocked over my computer and it ended. I think Tina was on here and it knocked over my computer and it ended. And it's crazy because I wrote this 6 days ago. This destiny versus fate, return to the 333 oneness. So 333 oneness, first off, is the Holy Trinity. Okay, it's the Trinity. And the Trinity is mind, body, and spirit. So when you see the number 333, everybody knows that 333 is one symbol of twin flames. But we have to remember, what are the reasons that twin flames exist? One of the reasons is to activate or accelerate your healing journey. So twin flames exist to activate or accelerate your healing journey. So some of your soulmates are twin flames, yes. But remember, twin flames is not the romantic love story that people think they want. It's not the stories you see, and it's not the Cinderella story. Twin flames are here to put you on mission, okay? They're here to put you on the directive. They're here to put you on path. They're not here to be your lovers. They're not here to stroke your shit, okay? They're not here to stroke your ego. They're here to trigger the hell out of you, all right? You keep seeing 333 multiple times. So if you keep seeing 333 multiple times, understand that right now, I could be channeling message through your twin flame, through me, for you to hear. Maybe you're in contact, maybe you're in separation, maybe you're in union, whatever the scenario. Maybe you're in some awkward ass limbo phase, or maybe they're not your twin flame at all and you're just confusing them with somebody else. But right now, I'm telling you, the message is now coming through me. This is the direct order. This is why I put my turquoise on today, just so that I can like bring these messages out of the unseen. Okay. You see it multiple times. It's telling me right now that either your mind, your body, or your spirit, or all 3, or maybe 2 of the 3 are out of balance. Okay. So let me ask you this. You don't have to say anything. Is your body in check? Are you happy? Are you satisfied with your body? Or is your body blocking you? So are you eating foods that is blocking your third eye, is making your mind clouded and foggy? You're building up mucus, maybe through milk and dairy and whatever, and all that dairy product that's processed is fogging up your third eye. It's making you feel real cloudy in the head. Okay. That's the mind. Okay. So the mind, if your mind is clouded, the 333 is the Trinity. So when you see 333, one of the angel numbers, one of the messages, you're out of fucking balance. And so sometimes our twin flames, they only pull up on us when we're out of balance. And they're helping us to get in balance. And sometimes they dip back out. Okay. Healthy body, eating healthy. Great. So if it's not the body, then you're checking with the mind. Is your mind playing games with you? Right? Are you finding yourself hallucinating? Are you finding yourself having illusions? You finding yourself with your third eye like not being clear? So your imagination right now is blocked. Maybe your creativity is blocked. Okay. That could be the mind. The mind could be thinking too much. You find yourself, your mind is overreactive. You can't go to sleep because your mind just keeps fucking running in circles, running in circles. One of the clear signs of the 333 Trinity is when your mind can't rest and you can't sleep. Or maybe you're going to sleep for 8 hours, but you're not actually rested. You're waking up and you feel like, oh my God, I'm drowsy, I'm groggy because I had my eyes closed for 8 hours, but I didn't actually sleep. The pressure in the third eye, bang. So it means clear your mind. Okay. So this is one of the Holy Trinity. You're going to keep seeing that 333 until you clear the pressure in your third eye. Okay. So one of the things that I like to do is literally tap that shit. I want you to do this right now. Tap that shit. Like tap it and put a little power behind it. Tell it like, wake the fuck up. It's like, hey, clear house. Okay. And that's obviously assuming from third eye, that's obviously assuming if your body's in check, that means your root chakra is in check. That means your sacral chakra is in check. So like when I say sacral chakra, like look, your relationships is sacral chakra, which is also like your relationship with me. Do you have any shame or guilt? Do you feel guilt in certain relationship dynamics, friendships? Okay, you feeling guilty about something because you got to have all the lower level chakras in alignment first. You need to feel safe and secure. Like, are you worried about your bills? This is the root chakra. Are you worried about your bills? Are you worried about money? Are you worried about finances? Are you worried about a roof over your head? Are you worried about having food in your mouth? You got to get there first. That's root. Then you got to look at your relationships. Okay. And it's like, and not just relationship, but like hedonistic pleasures. Are you chasing the pleasure? Are you placing joy? Are you chasing joy rather than attracting it? Because if that's out of balance, or you having sex with people you're not supposed to, if that's out of balance, no regret, no shame, bang. Then your solar plexus. Are you feeling ambitious? Okay. Are you feeling ambitious? Are you feeling like, yeah, you waking up ready? You want to get after it today. Like you're like, I want to launch that project. I want to create that thing. I want to progress my business, whatever it is. You feeling that? Or if it's out of balance, the third chakra, the yellow solar plexus, the mani pira, is are you feeling power hungry? Are you feeling greedy? Are you feeling like I want more, I want more, I want more? Are you feeling like power hungry? That's when it's out of balance. And then you got to get to the heart. Okay. Obviously, the heart is like, you know, are you practicing forgiveness? Do you have compassion in your heart? Do you feel warm? Or do you feel cold? You feel like, damn, I'm just a cold, ice cold bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck everybody. So good. Then you got the throat chakra, which is now creativity. Are you expressing your truth? Because again, all this stuff, you can't get to the third eye until you get all these. Are you expressing your truth? Are you being honest? Are you speaking the words? Are your words coming out of your mouth with integrity? Okay. Are your words coming out and they match your actions? So if you're saying, yeah, I want to launch this new, I don't know, oh, when I get home, I'm going to paint today. And then you get home and you don't paint. Then your throat chakra is going to get fucking clogged up because you're lying. Okay. So whenever you're lying, not able to express emotions. Expressing emotions is a part of that. Okay. So this is part of the reason probably why your third eye is blocked, because it can't see what you need to do to express your emotions. So it's going to stay blocked until you just start expressing your emotions. You have to forgive. You have to let the love in. You got to get that heart chakra, maybe that heart chakra. Because if you're a Scorpio rising, we forever suffer with bitterness. And be honest, like there's always a part of it that's going to be a little bitter. There's always a part of us that's not going to want to forgive. There's always a part of us that's not going to want to forget to a healthy extent. Okay, not forget and ignore the lesson. We don't want to forget really, because it's like there's a lesson, there's some healing in not forgetting. You learn something. We want to but we want to forgive because it's heavy. If you don't forgive, it's just too heavy. You can't get into um the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra if you don't forgive. And it's one of the hardest ones. In my personal opinion, I think all the other ones are a little bit easier. I think forgiveness is the hardest one because forgiveness has to come from me. I have to forgive myself. I have to forgive myself for making the choices that I feel like have hurt me. Because that next person that I won't forgive is not them. It's more that I won't forgive myself for what I allowed, for how I allowed them to cross my boundaries. I won't forgive myself because I crossed my own boundaries. I crossed my boundaries. One of the biggest, the hardest parts for me to forgive in my last relationship dynamic was to come to terms that I crossed my own boundary. I set a boundary. I'm like, boom, yes. I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself. I'm like, fuck, I did it. I set that boundary and I kept that. I held the line, and then I crossed the boundary, and that hurt me. I hurt myself, and it was hard for me to forgive that I set the boundary and I hurt myself, and it took me some time to forgive myself because like I crossed my own boundary, and it's like, damn, this person didn't hurt me. It hurt to have to realize like I don't even have anybody to blame. I can only blame myself. I can't blame you. I'm at this stage in my life where like I can't blame somebody else. I gotta blame me. I gotta look at me right now, and me right now is not forgiving me, and that was closing my heart. You feel me? Like not allowing myself to forgive myself for this betrayal, this self-betrayal. I betrayed myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't meet my own expectations. I expected to hold the line. I expected to set this boundary and hold the line, and I didn't do it. So that had nothing to do with the person across from me. That had everything to do with me. Yes, forgiveness is hardest, and it hit me. I find it hard to forgive because I allowed them. Yeah, yeah. Forgive yourself, baby girl. Forgive yourself. Let me ask you this: Do you know who your inner child is? And if you do, does your inner child have a name? And if it doesn't, invite your inner child to sit with you. Like just do it right now. Like invite it to sit with you and try to listen. See if it talks. See if your inner child talks. And if it does, ask your inner child, like, hey, what's your name, sweetie? And understand that your inner child could be a boy or a girl. My inner child is a girl. And do some work. Do some work with your inner child. And then I think that'll start to open up your third eye. That'll start to open up your third eye. If your third eye, because when you feel pressure in your third eye, it's closed. It's either closed or it's squinting. It's kind of like, I can barely see the light of day, young lad. But I know there's some demons around me, but I just can't see them. Maybe it's me, but I don't even know that because I can't see them. So, that's probably what's happening. Inner child healing will bring up a lot of emotions. Absolutely. But remind you, like you said, you can't express your emotions right now. It's probably because you ignoring your child. So, bang. I hope that helps, sweetie. Here we go. So number 9, just to finish it, destiny versus fate. You carve your path, okay? And understand the mission is always to return back to that 333. That 333 is oneness, that Trinity, the Holy Trinity, okay? When you get the mind, you get the body, and you get the spirit in check, that's the Trinity. And when you can do that, you're fucking unstoppable. You're a master manifester. You create everything. You raise your own consciousness. You raise your own frequency. When you get that mind, body, and spirit, you got to have your body right. You got to have your mind right. And you got to do the spirit work, okay? So when I say spirit work, what I'm talking is like, get your rituals. If you don't know what your rituals are, you don't got spiritual rituals, then you out of alignment. You're out of alignment. And I think it's huge when you name your inner child. So let's go to number 10. Number 10 out of 12, karmic signs and reasons of your soulmates coming up. They on the pull-up game. They're like, yo, what up, what up, what up? How you doing? You made a contract with me in your past life. Number 10. Yeah, I'm getting itchy. These bugs, I took my shirt off and now these bugs are starting to tag on me. All right, let me take a sip of water and I'm gonna get you number 10. Okay, here we go. Observe the synchronicities and the effortless guidance innately within you. Learn the lesson and release the doubt. Okay? So how many of us felt like you know, we went to this Walmart and we just met somebody. But like before you got to the Walmart, you lost your keys. And when you lost your keys, it made you late like 10 minutes. And then you got stuck at this red light. And then when you at the red light, this bird just flew by you. And this other one flew this way. And this other one flew this way. So then it was three birds. And then three, three, three. Oh shit, I just saw three birds. And these synchronicities were happening. Because those birds probably were your soulmates as well. Because you could have made the contract and it's like, look, I need the birds to pull up. You know, I need the keys to be late. You know, so soul contracts, take it out of people. It's not always about a person. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we got to look at the life as, from a more ethereal standpoint. Okay, more from the unseen world, and it comes in these synchronicities. Synchronicities are your signs. They're your guidings. They're your guardians. Okay, and it's innately within you, and it's trying to help you to learn the lesson. So when these things happen, you may then meet that person by coincidence. Okay, and it's really the lesson is to probably help you release the doubt. So when you meet soulmates, you meet common relationships, they're trying to help you release doubt. They're trying to help you release the fear, okay? They're trying to help you release whatever it is that you need to release. So let's say for you in this example, they may be there to help you to release the hate, you know, to release the bitterness that you accumulated because you wouldn't allow yourself to forgive yourself for what you allowed. All right. And you're gonna meet these people. Right now is like, yo, I'm telling you, it's happening. For Scorpio, soulmates are coming out. Libra, soulmates are coming out for Libras right now. And Pisces, soulmates are coming out for Pisces heavy because Ceres, which is an asteroid or a dwarf planet, I think, is in Gemini, and they're coming out for those three people. So observe the synchronicities. Give space, energy, time, and awareness to the synchronicities. And yeah, enjoy that. So 11, break contracts from weight by raising the frequency of Earth and humanity. All right, so this is kind of back to the spiritual war in a sense. Like I said earlier, like we're here. There's a spiritual war going on, and it's like we're here. We are on the training ground. Let's say Earth is training ground, but collectively we also are here to raise the vibration, to raise the frequency of humanity. Because obviously we see human beings are out of touch. Okay, that's obvious. You don't drop nuclear bombs on people if you are in your 333 holy trinity and you are feeling aligned. You know, if your mind, body, and spirit is aligned, you don't drop bombs. If your mind, body, spirit is aligned, you don't lie, cheat, and steal and rob people. If your mind, body, spirit is in line, you don't sit there and run a fucking prostitution ring of children who are getting kidnapped in one country, shipped into a van. You don't do these things. You know what I'm saying? You don't do these things. You don't do these things when you're in alignment. So soulmates come in to help you break contracts, to help you break the weight, break away from the weight. Ultimately so that you can raise the frequency of Earth. Ultimately so that you can raise the frequency of people, of humanity. My back is itching. So yeah, that's that. Bang, that's that. Any questions, definitely hit me, and I'm gonna get you guys this last one. Oh, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh because we just said it. We just said it. Number 12, forgiveness. Clear the karmic debt. Anywhere, all dimensions, and feel the gratitude. So understand that karmic debt is not always just here on Earth, right? Like it's not just what you can see or the synchronicities here. It's like you accumulate karmic debt in alternate realities, alternate dimensions, parallel realities, parallel dimensions, um, you know, on Earth, spirit world, past lives. And when to release karmic debt, it's like we have to take it a little bit broader because sometimes our debt is not owed from this frequency, from the Earth, from the vibration, from the 3D world. Okay, this is a 3D world. Sometimes it's not there. It's not here. So we can get real confused and think, why can't I find this? Why can't I let go? Like sometimes we got to release this from other worlds. And that's all my 12 signs, symptoms, and reasons for soulmates. I'm really happy that I did this. I came on super inspired. Any questions is a really good time to ask. If anybody's still here, I would love to see you in my next workshop. It's going to be donation based. Just shoot me a message, drop it in the comments, drop me an email. If you have my WhatsApp, send me a message. And I'll let you know about that. It was a good time. I'm gonna take one last sip of water for anybody to say what you want, ask any questions. Thank you, Shanice. Did you guys find this valuable? I hope so. To understand why these people in our lives come, because sometimes I think we get caught up in the fact that like, oh my God, I'm so hurt. Oh my God, I can't forgive. Oh my God, my heart's locked off. Oh my God, this guy, this girl broke my heart. And it's like, no, they didn't break your heart. They built you up. Okay. They didn't break your heart. They built you up. Okay. They didn't break your heart. They built you up. Even if this is a friend, oh my mom broke my heart. No, she didn't break your heart. She built you up. Oh my God, my boyfriend broke my heart. He didn't break your heart. He built you up. Okay. Because, you know, in Japanese culture, when a glass breaks or a pot breaks, I just dropped the glass. When they put the pieces back together, they put them back together with gold. And a lot of times, that that china cabinet or that antique piece is now stronger when they put it back together with gold than it was the first time it was built. Because now, after they broke your heart, when you come back together, the way you're built up, you're now reinforcing that with gold. And the gold in this instance is the wisdom and the experience that you gained from that heartbreak, from these soulmates that you in your past life told to break your heart. This brings me so much comfort. I can't tell you how peaceful my life has become when I started recognizing that soul contracts were created by me. When I recognize that when my life path gets so hard, when I recognize that I chose this life path in my past life. So my higher consciousness let me, it believed that it did the work in whatever past life to come back into this life to survive, to thrive, and to overcome these challenges. It brings me so much peace to know I chose my life path. I chose to come back as a life path 11. I chose to come back to raise the consciousness of people. I chose to come back to teach. I chose to come back as a resilient motherfucker. I chose to come back as a Scorpio rising. And it's like with regenerative powers, Scorpios regenerate faster. Aries, I'm in Aries. Aries and Scorpio is in the planet Mars. We regenerate. We are warriors. Warriors get licks. Warriors have wounds. Warriors have scars. And warriors regenerate. You feel me? Scorpions regenerate. You cut the tail off, the tail fucking grows back. You slice the god of war, the god of war is still at war. So, you know, it brings me a lot of comfort to know that my higher consciousness signed contracts with each and every one of my soulmates, my lovers, all my people. I don't know. I'm telling you, I must have signed a shit ton of contracts in my last life. It had to take me 3 lifespans to fucking write out my contracts and sign all the documents. It had to been like a fucking lawyer file of me like signing off for a home. You ever seen like somebody sign up for a home or going through a divorce, like papers this thick and you just another law, another rule. Oh shit, this is gonna be a really tough contract. This soulmate is gonna break my heart. This one's gonna suck. You know what I'm saying? It must have took me a long ass time because I swear to God, I got so many damn contracts. Half your chart of Scorpio. Yeah. So if you're chart of Scorpio, you got contracts out this bitch. You know, because 7th house is contracts and 8th house is like the commitment into the contract. So if you got a lot of Scorpio, you're committed to these contracts. You're committed to seeing it through. Because mind you, Scorpios see shit through. You feel me? They see it through. They see that shit all the way to the end. A Scorpio, they set their sights on what they desire, and it doesn't matter how much time. Time is irrelevant to a Scorpio. Time is fucking irrelevant. It's like, bitch, I am a god. I will see this shit through. You feel me? Bitch, you think I forgot? Never forget. Yeah, you should have. Yeah, you recognize I'll come at to sting that ass. Yeah, but I'm just gonna do it by looking at you. Listen, yo, I enjoy all of y'all. Thank y'all for checking in. This is an incredible live. I really enjoy it. Thank you for being patient with me as well about when I post these lives. Because to be honest, I don't do them unless my spirit tells me to do it. I don't just come on here just because YouTube is going to be a monetization for me. I don't just do it because it's like, oh yeah, I can get more watch time, and it's like, oh, none of that. Like I do it when I'm called to do it. I do it when I have a message, and sometimes I don't got no messages for y'all. Sometimes I want to talk to y'all, but I'm like, I don't know the message, so I don't ever come on here until God's like, hey, come off the bench, son. We need you to speak about soul contracts today. I'm like, soul contracts? Soul contract. God, I don't know about soul contracts. Yes, yes, the fuck you do. Yes, the fuck you do. Just Google research it real quick, and you're gonna remember that you already know about soul contracts. Really? Yes, the fuck you do. Oh, today I want to talk about twin flames. God, I don't know about twin flames. Yes, the fuck you do. Yes, the fuck you do. Remember who you are. Oh shit! You feel me? So like, this is kind of how it happens for me, if I'm being honest. Um, and I get the message when I get the message, and when I don't, then I had to learn to use that time to work on myself. Cause this is the thing, ready? So like, thank you for being patient with me, because understand that like, no matter who the fuck I am, no matter what the fuck I came back to do in this life, I am still in a human body, and I have to also take care of my mind, take care of my body, and take care of my spirit just as much as I'm actually requiring you, because all of us are in this together. Okay, we're all warriors, we're all guardians, we're all angels to somebody. Somebody sees you on the other side of this camera as an angel. Somebody on the other side of this camera, somebody in your life sees you as their guardian. Somebody sees you as their soulmate. Somebody sees you as something better than what you see yourself. Never forget that. Okay, honor the fact that that's true, and honor that by honoring yourself. And this is what I have to do a lot of times for myself. Like, I have to create, like, emotionally intelligent people, they make time to experience their emotions. Make time to experience your emotions, because you can't take advantage of somebody who's emotionally intelligent. Narcissist can't stand an empath who knows themselves and who stands up for themselves and who holds the line, who recognizes their frame and holds their boundary. Narcissists hate motherfuckers like us. They hate us because they can't run us. Okay? But as if you're an empath, you're a light worker, in order for you to defend yourself, you have to know yourself. And a part of knowing yourself is creating space for your emotions. For the next 3 days, we are Cancer Moon. Today is one of them. Okay? Today, tomorrow, and the day after is the moon in Cancer. It's a great time. Right now, you're going to have Venus in Capricorn. It's going to try to push you to work. It's going to try to push you to say, look, we got shit to do, bro. Like, I got shit to do. Like, I got things to build, to give to you. And I'm motivated now. I feel like I had all the energy in the world, and I could have got so far in that project today. Y'all seen how much energy I came out with today? Came out from the beginning of this shit. I was like shaking when I first got on this. If you watch the video, I was like, I came out like this. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to fucking spit that shit today. I'm about to get that crack out today. And now today, like right now, I spit so much out like that. I use a lot of my energy where I can talk to you normal. But when I came out this bitch, I was like, right? So I could have used that. Capricorn and Venus and Capricorn is wanting us to do that. However, because it's not conjunction, because it's in opposition with the moon today in Cancer, the moon is requiring us to make space for our emotions. For me, my emotions was I gotta spit this talk. I gotta spit this shit right now. That was what my emotion. My emotion was like, I gotta get it out. So I got it out, and hopefully, and whenever it is gonna happen, it's gonna be for somebody else. So make space for your emotions, because emotionally intelligent people cannot be taken over of. They can't be taken advantage of, and you can't run through them. All right. So thank you all. Share this with somebody that you know. Thank you for being a subscriber. I appreciate you tremendously. Send me a message, and I'll see you soon. You guys rock.